Welcome to Stupid Movies, where we guys watch them so you don't have to.
That's right, and today we watch I Am Lisa 2020, not rated for some ungodly reason, and 92 minutes long. Directed by Patrick Ray, starred Kristen Vaganos, Jennifer Seward. We get attacked by the sheriff and her dumb daughter, and they leave us stranded out in the woods to get bitten by some sort of thing that is not a werewolf. It was a regular wolf, and then we just get supernatural powers. What happened in this movie?
It is about a girl, Lisa.
Ah, is that her name?
The titular Lisa.
The titular Lisa.
Who returns to a small-ish town. The sheriff of the town is a crazy bitch who lets her daughter do whatever.
Yep.
And the daughter increasingly is torturing Lisa. And at one point, they beat the shit out of her, take her out into the woods, leave her there where she gets bit by a werewolf on the full moon at night. No. It was a person who turns into a wolf, hence a werewolf.
Nope.
Then she gets rescued by the hippie, who is the sister of the sheriff. And the hippie is like, oh, well, yeah, usually most people when they get bitten by a werewolf die right away. But because you didn't, you're probably going to turn into a werewolf as well.
Where was the wolf, though? That's what it is. It's a where is wolf. That's what it's not a werewolf. It's a where is wolf.
It's more of a werewolf than that one movie where it was just a dude who had sewn together a wolf suit.
But at least that looked like a werewolf.
The rest of the movie is her slowly wolfing out and getting revenge on the people who tried to kill her. Rob likes werewolves. What else do we like?
I will say it's shot well.
It's shot good. Very well. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was shot really well. I like the music in this, and the score was actually really good. It sounded
really good, too. You know, okay, this is kind of an obscure thing, and I don't know how much of this you picked up on, because I know when it comes to reading, we are vastly different.
Yes.
But one of the subplots of this takes place about a bookstore. This bookstore was beautiful. I loved it so much. So many good book jokes that I think a lot of them will just go over people's head, but I found them hilarious. There were so many good literary jokes in this, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. I appreciated it. Thank you.
Had some good had some good makeup effects. There's not a lot of blood or gore in this.
No.
But
what was there was good.
The blood looked fine. Yeah, the special effects were fine. So no complaints there.
I actually I liked the story. The whole her seeking revenge against these people. I thought that was fun. That was a lot of fun. It was an interesting... I know we've seen swords like this before, but I thought it was an interesting take. I liked that they didn't ever really show the werewolf.
There wasn't one.
Yes, there was. Just deal with it. Just accept it.
There's nothing to accept.
It's a werewolf movie.
But it's not.
She got bit by a wolf. She turned into a wolf. That makes her a werewolf. That is like Werewolf 101. You, sir, should know that.
But she just got bit by a regular wolf. She didn't get by a werewolf.
You don't ever get bit by a regular wolf and then turn into a regular wolf.
But that's all it would be.
It wasn't a regular wolf. It was a werewolf. They actually flat out, not only was it a werewolf, they told you who it was.
Yeah. I know.
Had you been paying attention, you'd know that.
But he just turned into a wolf, not a werewolf.
What's the difference between a wolf and a werewolf?
There's a big difference.
There is not. A werewolf is a person who turns into a wolf.
Yeah, a wolf.
A wolf.
That's not a werewolf.
It is a werewolf.
There's a difference.
You just don't want to admit this. Because you're wrong.
This is my problem with a lot of werewolf movies.
I liked that they didn't go out of their way. They didn't really show their werewolf that much. They didn't do the whole... American Werewolf in London transformation sequence. Yeah. Those are cool. I really like those transformation sequences. Don't get me wrong. I love watching that, and I love seeing all the especially when they're practical, all the work they did to make that happen. But it's kind of a cliche at this point. And it was cool to see that they didn't need to do that and could still make a good werewolf movie. That, I think, is the biggest point we disagree on. Yeah. Had you seen a scene where she turned into a wolf, you wouldn't be saying it's not a werewolf.
It depends, though. See, like, if she just turned into just a regular-looking wolf, then no. I'm like, no, that's not a werewolf. That's a wolf.
That's a fucking werewolf.
She needs to turn into a big, hulking beast. That's a werewolf. I'm very, very picky with it.
You're very, very
Because most werewolf movies do what this piece of shit did.
You're very, very wrong.
No, I'm not. It may be a werewolf, but it's a shitty ass.
It was a werewolf.
Cliche piece of junk.
You heard him say that it's a werewolf, so
I said
he
werewolf.
finally admitted it, at least.
People say it's a werewolf.
This is more than he's admitted to all fucking week.
It just turns into a wolf. That's stupid and lame. It's like, you're gonna make a werewolf movie, go all out.
That's what werewolves are. They're people who turn into wolves. Why don't we flip over what didn't we like about this movie?
And I don't like that it did that, because that's pretty much every werewolf movie anymore for the last decade or two. That's what it does. Most of them. And it's like, no! Give me an actual werewolf movie. Give me Silver Bullet, Bad Moon, Dog Soldiers, American Werewolf, where they actually turn into a monster. See, that's my thing. Like, for me, a werewolf is a monster. If it just turns in just to a normal looking, that's not scary. That's stupid.
So you're not looking for a werewolf movie. You're looking for a monster movie.
Well, sure.
Okay.
Werewolves are monsters.
No,
right?
that's fine. That's
Yeah,
fine.
I mean,
I now understand where you're coming
Right.
from, at least. So you don't care about werewolves, which is a person who turns into a wolf. You
Yeah.
care about, like, a were-monster.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a person who turns into a monster.
right.
Okay.
So I grew
We're
up.
on the... we figured it out!
And yeah, I know what you're saying too. Yeah, it's a person that turns into a wolf. Yeah.
Hence a werewolf.
Well, yeah, but it's just,
No,
you know.
I understand.
I don't like it when they're on four legs. I know American Werewolf in London was that.
I was just thinking, what about American Werewolf in London? He basically turns into a wolf.
Right.
And that is, to me, like one of the best werewolf movies ever.
Yes. No, I agree. But that's one of my least favorite things about it, is that it's on four legs.
Oh, okay.
Not that I like it because it actually looks like a monster. It doesn't look like an actual just wolf.
Sure.
I thought this had some sound issues.
Yes, no, it did have some sound
Like,
issues.
technically, some scenes were louder than others.
Yes. There were some that were, it was very hard to hear, and like I was turning the volume up.
And then it'd be like,
yeah, and then it would blow my eardrums out. And this movie was very, very slow to start.
oh my gosh.
It took so long to get going. It felt like a Hallmark movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like so boring.
Most of the characters I didn't like. I mean, they were well done. They were portrayed well, but they just got under my skin.
Yeah.
You know, they did. They annoyed me.
And I would extend that to the protagonists, too.
Mhm.
Lisa was fucking... I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you.
Right.
I tried to feel bad for you. Like, I wanted to actually empathize and care about that character, but she's just whiny. It's like, fuck off.
Right.
I deal with enough of that. I don't need to
know.
hear it in my movies, too. So.
All right, well, I'll go first.
You go first. This was your pick.
I did not enjoy this movie, if you weren't able to tell. It's well made. It looks good, all that. Acting's fine. Story's fine enough. They execute it fine enough. It's just very, very boring and slow and Hallmarky and just unexciting, and I was annoyed. Give me a good werewolf movie for once, damn it. Just do it. You know I did not enjoy this. I'm going to be nice, though, and give it a 2 out of 8.
This was the epitome of a werewolf movie for me, which means it was slow, pretty boring. So I don't know. I'm going to put my score right around a 4. I'm going to put it just right down the middle. There was some good stuff in this. It just took so long to get to it.
Could have been much better.
Could have been much better. It was the epitome of a werewolf movie for me. It was slow. It was boring. There was no tension. That's how every werewolf movie is, pretty much. Hey, if you like what we're doing, or if you disagree with us, why don't you go ahead and let us know in the comments down below. Continue the argument of what makes a werewolf movie. Like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. Come check us out over on Facebook.com/StoopidMovies. You can check us out on Instagram @StoopidMovies. You can tell Rob he's wrong @TheHorrorPunk. You can tell me that I'm wrong @Dr. Sketch Turner. You can email us, stupidmovies@outlook.com. Oh, hey, before we go, send us a picture of your werepenis. Rob's starting a collection.
That's what I do. I'm like, where are you, penis? Where are you?
Oh, I was just thinking nice and hairy, but yeah, absolutely.
Oh.
Where'd you go? How is it not a werewolf movie? You've been saying this all week.
Because there's not a werewolf in it.
There is a werewolf. There's a person who turns into a wolf.
But
That is a werewolf.
But she didn't turn into
She
a
is
wolf.
a werewolf.
She didn't turn into a
She
wolf.
started getting all snouted out and her eyes started changing. They didn't show the full transformation, but it was there.
She turned into Kiefer Sutherland of the Lost Boys.